Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's AYCG Moviecast, episode 454. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Hey.
And Tony Korkanakis.
You could dodge a bullet, but you can't dodge a banana?
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 454 of the Moviecast. This week, we will be bringing you bonus content, a spoiler cast coming for Spider-Man Far From Home. So look for that this week as well. As Tony just mentioned, a quote possibly from that which you've seen in the trailers. We all saw this week, Mike, fresh off the viewing of it, right?
Yeah, just a few hours ago.
Yeah, so let's get into what we've been up to then. Like we've all seen Spider-Man Far From Home, and like I said, we will be doing a spoiler cast, but brief impressions here, guys. I very much enjoyed it. I thought I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I thought very hard about that, and I very much very good epilogue to Endgame. So I would definitely, obviously, if you have not seen Endgame, don't go see this movie. I think that's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I don't think this movie would make much sense without Endgame.
Ashley actually didn't see Endgame and saw this movie. Of course, I did tell her the entire plot of Endgame.
See, there you go.
On the way home from what?
Did you see Infinity War though, or
she saw Infinity War? Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
She saw parts of it, right?
She didn't see Endgame, so I just told her what happened more or less last night, and then we saw.
You kind of know what happens, I think, once you watch Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I mean the trailers basically tell you right away too. So
yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. Corey, what about you?
Yeah, it was definitely a great follow-up to the Endgame, but not just that, but just as a sequel itself. And I really do like what they did with the villain and villains in this movie. You know, as far as what we know, as the character from the comics, how they, mess with perception and deception. And you kind of can figure everything out as it goes if you're really like paying attention. But at the same time, they kind of answer all the lingering questions that I had as far as what, does Marvel look like after Endgame and the snap? Yeah. You get the blip.
The blip, as they call it. So, I think
I'd probably be on a little lower than you, but maybe around 8-ish.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I could see that. I was actually thinking about an 8. In terms of fun level, I found myself enjoying this and laughing a lot. I enjoyed, but then I saw an interesting post on Twitter that somebody mentioned that they like Shazam as much, and I'm like, Shazam was pretty fun comparatively to this movie. I like this better because I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I could see some arguments there. If you liked Shazam, it has a similar feel. Just having fun with it, a lot of humor. Tony, what'd you think?
I gave brief impressions last week, but now that we can talk about it.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right.
I mean, I thought the first half was okay because it had to deal with a lot of the stuff after Endgame. But I think the second half was really strong.
Yeah,
I do like what they did with the villain a whole lot. Just without giving anything away, just it made me rethink the character a little bit compared to how I knew this character in other mediums, which is what I thought they did with Homecoming. With
the thing I'll say is I like what they did with this more than what they could have done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I thought it was spot on. And just again, this just cements to me Tom Holland is the greatest Spider-Man live action actor of our generation.
All right.
Yeah. No, I don't have an argument anymore from this. That's statement true.
No, I wasn't doing it to incite an argument. I was just saying, again, I just love how he embodies the character a bit more than and I think I've mentioned this, how I love the Raimi Spider-Man still, at least 2 out of 3. But I feel like that is literally the character plucked out of the golden or maybe the silver era of comics, where it's just it's okay, I get it, but it wouldn't work now. I don't think that if they released that same exact movie, it'd feel kind of weird.
It was campy. It was very campy.
Yeah, it was campy, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was great for the time it launched. It really boomed the superhero business, especially. But I love how Tom Holland's character, really has that dilemma between wanting to be Spider-Man and still wanting to enjoy his youth, which is something that characters always struggle with and stuff like that. I liked it.
I mean, he's 16 in these movies. Let's remember that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike.
Yeah, I liked it too. I would probably give it about an 8. I don't know. I'll get into it more really in the spoiler cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't really
That's why
want
we
to
have
say
it.
anything specific right now, but I liked it. I wasn't blown away, but I liked it.
I don't know. I don't think an 8.5 is blown away either. I mean, I think it's really good for me because I'm a Spider-Man fan. I gave it a little half. It's a half-point bump.
I would say I'm around the 8.5.
Yeah.
Like again, I think the first half I'd give like a 7 or so. And the second half I think was like 9 or whatever.
I think you needed that first half though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You definitely needed it because the impact that the second half has is due to the fact that you're kind of trudging through these things. So.
Especially how they said this. I'm sorry, real quick. Like they said this takes place like, not too long after Endgame. So like just imagining like coming off of Endgame, even though we watched this months ago already, and then going right into
it's almost real time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it was good. All right.
It was also kind of a bonus because me and Ashley went to Venice for our honeymoon a year ago. So we saw all the sights, and I'm pretty sure like a character drops his camera right around where Ashley took a picture.
Nice, cool.
So it was pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah. So okay, we saw that one. Another small show came out this week, obviously via Netflix, which has caused me to resubscribe, and has opened the floodgates for me on Netflix shows I've been behind on. So I will say I actually haven't gotten to watch too much Stranger Things yet. So I'm gonna be blitzing it so we can do a spoiler cast next week. I think, unless I don't know how far you guys along are you? I'm sure Mike.
I am 4 in.
Okay. So I'm on 3. So I'm not that far behind, but.
I'm pulling a season 1 right now and haven't seen anything yet.
Okay. All right. Maybe we don't do a spoiler cast. I'm trying to blitz through it.
That's dangerous because I've already gotten like the impression of a spoiler from something.
No, I mean, that's the thing is that you look anywhere, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
As I linked, this is the #1 viewed stream thing.
Yeah. We have news for that. I mean, we actually had a great setup. Mike had a cookout at his house, and we got to watch the first episode outdoors.
How was that huge projector there?
It was awesome.
I think it worked, right? Yeah, it worked.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Donations via my work. So yeah, I think it worked out pretty well. I'd love to do it again. I think we could do that for.
We'll see. Or maybe at your place because I'm a little sick of dealing with my mother. But
my place is fine. I think actually doing it later in the year, like when it gets darker earlier. That's when you do it. I mean, starting at 8:30, 9 o'clock is by the time this finished and then the takedown, we only watched 1 episode of it. And I gotta say though, I am enjoying the 2 episodes I've seen so far. It's I think the first episode was a nice recap kind of thing, like where are the characters now, and it then picks up. So I definitely I'm enjoying that myself.
It's only 8 episodes this year. Has it always been 8 only, or I
thought it was 10. Wasn't it 10?
I don't know.
I always thought it was 10.
Isn't it only 8
too?
It looks like it's only 8 this time.
It was only 8 this time.
Yeah,
I think that's shorter than it used to be.
I'm gonna look this up.
Did any of you guys see the season before watching?
No, they're all 8. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh wow, I always thought they were 10.
They were all 8.
Yeah, I knew they were shorter, but I thought it was 10. I really did.
Tony, did you see episode 1 before watching it at Mike's?
Yeah, just because I was like half and half on if I was actually going to be able to go to my phone call coverage. But it was still cool just seeing it again. Yeah. And like, if anything, like I was able to pay attention to a little bit more like subtleties and stuff in the background. Like, they had so many references and nods and stuff like that. It's really cool.
I actually like watching it in that atmosphere, like not even just outside, but like a group setting like this. It's more fun, like when you have a lot of people.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, but it was good. I
mean, it's the same thing like with the movie theater reactions and things like that.
You get more drawn into it. Yes, because I've actually rewatched 1 as well, because I watched it here, and so it was good, but I think I had more fun watching it the first time, and I didn't know if it was because I watched it the first time or it was because I was like outdoors and loud sound and big screen and so I don't know, but so I watched that. I watched a couple episodes. I did the You versus Wild, which is Bear Grylls' interactive survival show on Netflix. It's just man versus wild. It's just like you get to pick which direction he goes, and it's kind of like choose your own adventure, but with Bear Grylls with it, and it's not really danger involved or anything. But so
just like the old man.
it's just like it's
secretly.
yes. So yes, but I'm enjoying that. I also watched a bunch. I never watched the final season of Voltron.
Wow!
Yeah, so I'm 5 episodes in on that now. Yeah, so I don't know. I know, Tony, what happened was you saw it, and then you told me it wasn't anything great, so I kind of like put it on the back burner, and then I canceled Netflix.
Yeah.
So now that I'm back with it, I'm getting that done. And
I think with the temper expectations, I think it'll be all right. But like,
I've lowered it now, so
it's like,
I do wonder how it's the last season. That's the only thing I was like watching the beginning. Oh, okay. So I've watched the 5 episodes. And I'm like, how are they ending this? Like, it doesn't seem like they're trying to here. So yeah. All right. So that's really it. Watched for me. Mike, how about you?
It's really just those first 4 episodes of Stranger Things. I am sort of liking the sort of mystery aspect of it that they're building. Although by around where I am, it's starting to become less of a mystery. But and then I watched obviously Far From Home today. That was it.
Okay. All right. Corey?
Yeah, other than Spider-Man, I watched some more. I still watched some One Punch Man season 2, and
I saw a review for that season, and it wasn't very strong.
No, I mean it's still a good show, and I mean I think that show is great. It's just this season reminds me very much of the Chimera ants from Hunter x Hunter. Tony, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's like that. Have you watched One Punch Man at all?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like that's what I got the feeling I get with the Monsters Association?
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like it's funny now because like watching One Punch Man and then watching Hunter x Hunter, I'm like, this could technically be like an alternate like portion of the world, like going on concurrently. Really, it wouldn't surprise me, kind of thing.
So yeah, just kind of watching that. I was like, but there's some good parts and stuff, so it's fun still. But yeah, other than that, just not much.
Right. Tony?
Let's see. I don't think I mentioned it. I watched it like 2 or 3 weeks ago while my knee was busted up. But I watched Agretsuko season 2.
Oh, how is that?
I mean, it's
I'm back in Netflix now, so I'm like, I'm back.
It's so fun, and I mean, like, it's so short. Like, I think it's still like 15-minute episodes. Go ahead.
Did you guys ever watch Dragon Prince yet?
No, I have to watch it.
I really like season 1. I'm going to go into season 2 next. So
yeah,
but yeah, go ahead, Agretsuko.
But Agretsuko season 2, pretty funny. Characters are just cute and charming.
Yeah,
and the main character it's kind of funny because she embodies like just the spirit of, I believe, corporate America, just for the average office worker and stuff like that. But I just finished this other anime called Kakegurui, which is like a translation to like a compulsive gambler. It's a Netflix exclusive. Like this is one of their initiatives that when they like, took a gamble on anime, they're like secure the licensing to adapt the manga into an anime, I believe, or just help publish it outside of Japan. But it's like it has this like trope of like it's in a high school setting where the gimmick of this high school, it's not like they're training to be heroes or ninjas or wizards or anything, but the gimmick of this school is that everything is decided through gambling, whether it's poker, blackjack, craps, darts, billiards, you name it. Like that's how things are determined there. That's how status, popularity, power, social status even. And a lot of the kids are like, rich kids either through like, their parents or just because they're expert gamblers, despite them being teenagers and stuff like that. And like another trope in anime, the student council somehow runs the entire school. Like they're more powerful than the staff and the faculty, who have like no appearances at all in this anime. I'm just like, have we seen one teacher? Like, no, there's not one glimpse of a single faculty member in this entire show, and all this shit goes down. But it's pretty crazy. I wouldn't say it's like great, and I wouldn't say it's bad. It's interesting, and it's kind of fun because the main character is this girl who's like very calm and like mild-mannered until she gets into like a game, and then it's like kind of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, where like her alternate personality is like this psychotic, compulsive gambler that's just like, yeah, let's do this, baby, and is like, let's roll the dice, see what happens. It's like, like your life is on the line in this gamble, right? Like it's not just like you were just gambling for money. And actually, Corey, there's this one episode where there's this chick who's just a sadist, I guess, and she loves like pain and all that shit. And she's like, all right, so the stipulation for this is whoever loses a hand, they have to play Russian roulette. So they each have like a pistol with a revolver with 6 bullets in it, and they're like, you can put how many you want in the chamber before the round starts and all that stuff. I'm just like, Christ, it reminds me of that board game.
Yeah.
And
World
like
Championship.
Yeah. Like I said, it's good. It's entertaining. It's not great, but I was just like, okay, and it has some weird,
interesting theme.
Yeah, interesting theme.
Sparked my interest just because, like, I do like to go play some games here and there and gamble a little bit. So
yeah, that's it. It's so ridiculous. Just they're like, yeah, let's do this, and a lot of it involves like all these members cheating, and she just like spots me. She's like, don't insult me, like, don't cheat. And it's just like, oh shit, it's awkward and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
All right, so the box office this week, we got Spider-Man: Far From Home at number 1. Obviously, over the weekend it did 93.7 million. Over the 6-day haul, it did 185.
Much lower than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Yes, we were a little off in our expectations. So 186, it's still good. It's higher than any other Spider-Man movie, correct? I mean. So over the 6-day, I think the closest was 3 at 180. I forget numbers exactly, but 93.7 over the weekend. It had a good hold to yesterday as well. So they're expecting pretty good legs from this. So doing really well. Toy Story 4 at 34.4 million at number 2. Still a pretty good haul for that. Yeah. At third week now? That's third week, right? Yeah, that's third week. Yesterday, at 10.8, Annabelle Comes Home at 4, and Aladdin's still up there in the top 5. So there's your box office. Opening this week is just Stuber. Stuber is the Batista movie with I might go see that because it's a free movie. Yeah,
comedy.
Yeah, it looks funny. It looks fun. So we'll see. So that's it until the Lion King. So let's get. That's Stuber's this week. Lion King's next week.
Oh, Lion King.
So yeah. All right, let's get in some news here.
Sorry, real quick. Since we're doing the box office, you want to do the Spider-Man news I posted?
Oh yeah.
There's a rumor. I don't know if it's true, but I thought it was an interesting rumor.
Wait, what is the rumor here? I didn't get to read this thing. Go ahead, read it. Actually, okay. Can you read it? I'll be right back too. Hang on, keep going on.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. It's just loading real quick. All right. So apparently a journalist named Richard Rushfield peels back a deal that was signed between Sony and Marvel back in 2015 to share the Spider-Man character. That, in quotes, says, the original Sony-Marvel Spidey deal to co-produce these movies stipulated that this Spider-Man movie cleared $1 billion, Marvel would get to oversee a third. But if it hadn't, full control would have reverted back to Sony. Which is kind of an interesting deal. Again, this is a rumor, but an interesting one nonetheless. And I think from Marvel side, obviously they love that character. It's one of their prominent, popular characters, iconic. So that would explain, I guess, their marketing and just like that thing again coming off of Endgame. Really, I think boosted the movie, as we could see, but it breaking some records for the 4th of July weekend and all that stuff. So.
Well, I mean, the Marvel influence obviously had a huge impact on this character, bringing them into the MCU. Having them be able to, co-star alongside the Avengers is just, there's no way this character would achieve what it's doing now if it was just by itself.
Yeah. It was downward trending without a doubt with Andrew Garfield. Yeah. So, they've done great work together with this. I just can't see it. First of all, it's going to break $1 billion anyways, but I just don't see how it wouldn't. But
it's not even like worth Sony to like take that. Like it's like just keep helping us make money. Like just
they're splitting cost of marketing. They're splitting that essentially. It's like
why break up this like lucrative relationship that you have going on? It seems silly.
Yeah. So, all right. And as we mentioned, that was the box office for that one. What else we have here? Oh, Netflix. More Netflix news is adapting Cuphead into an animated series. That's interesting. That is perfect for it. Looks like an animated series, an old school cartoon. Yep. So I think this is awesome. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I
Great
just don't even know what the
characters,
theme's
so-
going to be. Yeah, I don't know what the theme will be for it. Like, if it will be similar to the game or if it will be more like just in the universe with those characters. And, you know, like, is it going to be like similar to the game? Like the bosses are in the game like this, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But we'll see. I actually have more Netflix news here. They acquired the rights to The Rock's movie Red Notice, which is coming. Obviously, I put this on here because they buy a lot of movies, but Dwayne Johnson is a pretty big name for draws. And this is a huge movie, actually, with Ryan Reynolds actually now being added into it. It's got a good cast. This is like a major film for Netflix.
Is it Scarlett Johansson in this too? Or
I think she is. I didn't get to read the whole list, but I was almost certain. I thought she was in this. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's
a big get.
coming out in late 2020. I don't know if she's still attached to this, but I know adding Ryan Reynolds and The Rock in this is going to be it's a great cast already with these two. So, but yeah, so that's huge purchase for them. Trying to one up the cinema. So,
the Jumanji trailer came out too. Weeks ago. That was it looks fun. I have to say, like,
yeah. I definitely
Danny DeVito and
I love well, I see Tony hasn't seen it yet, but I love the switch they put into that trailer, the switcheroo for things.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome.
The last one.
I don't know where it's on. I'm sure you can find it HBO or whatever, but I think it's on. It might be on Netflix.
Definitely got to watch that, Tony, because the video game tropes that they implement is fantastic.
It's a video game. It's a video game movie without being a video game movie. Let's see. I have two other things on here, both more controversial. The first one is actually controversial. This one is it's not controversial for us. I think this is stupid, but they cast Little Mermaid, and I had to put it in here for the news because Halle Bailey, it's very hard to not say Halle Berry, but Halle Bailey was cast as Ariel in Little Mermaid, and the backlash has been just trolls galore. Unbelievable.
What did you read the story at all?
Yeah. So there's a couple of reasons why. So, well, I mean, there's actually, I think, I agree with the post coming down to racism. It comes down to racism again. Like, you can't see another character in the role. That character's not. It's a grim story, a fairy tale, isn't it? Like, based on that, The Little Mermaid, isn't that based on that? So the character doesn't have to have red hair and be a white girl. There's nothing in that story that makes her be that. So I just don't understand the upset people behind this. Like,
people are just dumb.
Yeah.
But apparently, half of these people actually thought it was Halle Berry too.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's the other controversy. Like, half of these people are like, what the fuck? How do you get this old ass black woman playing?
Yeah, I didn't read the actual news. I had to read it twice when I was like, at first I thought it said Halle Berry.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, wait, that doesn't fit. And then I read it. I'm like, oh, okay. And but yeah, the further backlash from the trolls is it's unbelievable. And like, you think about it more, it's like, would this be like, I understand like Mulan's coming out. I saw the trailer for the teaser for Mulan. Now, if they cast this actress as Mulan, I could see that being controversial because that's not what the character is. Like, the character
trailer came out as well. It was a good trailer.
Yeah, it was. So I just, I thought it was interesting. I don't know. Anybody have a problem with this? I don't see is there any other besides the fact that, she's not a white character?
It's just how people didn't picture her, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care.
It is how they picture her.
Personally, honestly, I'm more offended that Melissa McCarthy is playing Ursula.
That you could be, just because she offends everybody.
Sounds bad.
So yeah, I didn't like Melissa McCarthy as that role either. But all right. And lastly, the Joker movie, which I was talking Mike to your friend at the party, and he's excited for this. But Doug, yeah, he's excited for this, and I'm like, no. I was trying to be nice as possible, but I'm like, I'm just not excited for this movie. It's got nothing to do with Batman, and now it's got nothing to do with anything. The character's not based on any comic book version of the character. It's not based on DC Universe. Really.
They're pulling influences from comic books.
Yeah, I feel like they're just saying that. Just so
you feel like they're just saying that, but we've seen nothing on the contrary there at all.
But what would you expect him like? I mean, it's still going to be like a villainous, crazy character. He's the Joker. Like, I don't know what.
He's not the Joker until like the end of the movie, from what I get from this. Well, he's becoming the Joker.
Okay. I mean, I just get the impression that they're saying this so they don't want to like seem like they're like hamstrung to like do anything specifically with him.
I don't know. The fact that this, I was hoping that we would get surprised and maybe have more of like a Batman influence in this movie, because you can't have the Joker without Batman. And I thought, okay, maybe they're going to just leave this as a surprise for us the whole way through. And I think that what this tells me is that's not going to happen at all. Like, get it out of my head.
Is, like, we saw this same situation essentially with Venom, right?
Mm.
And basically, you can't have Venom without Spider-Man. Like, what the hell, you know? But that movie
It
kind
did
of
pretty
worked.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked for what it was. But Venom's a B-list villain, really. Let's be honest. Joker is your number one villain with your number one banking character.
Yeah,
and you're gonna do this guy dirty like this? I don't. Fuck this movie.
There we go.
But I mean, at the same time, like, I think Venom at least had some appeal because there's still some CGI spectacle.
Yeah,
and
I
I think
an anti-hero.
Right, and that's exactly what I was getting. He's portrayed more in that, like, as an anti-hero. And China really saved that movie's ass a lot. But
I love their Tom Hardy.
I do love their Tom Hardy.
I can't stand Tom Hardy.
For this, I'm very skeptical, and I will continue to ask, who is this movie for?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, even if it's successful, I don't give a shit about it. Like, I can go burn in hell.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't even
watched
the trailer yet.
These movies, so I'm hoping it doesn't do well. Like, I don't want to see more of these, like, oh, we're just going to experiment with this stupid thing that makes no sense. Like, we have a plethora of these amazing stories we could tell, but no, we're just going to do some stupid, non-existing thing that makes no sense. And then don't use that character. Just don't do it then. I can get that. Like, I can get these crazy stories in the comics. I don't need.
Right, exactly. What are you offering? Like, what do you bring to the table, you know?
Yeah. All right, and lastly, we've got more streaming services coming our way. HBO Plus was announced from Warner Media. HBO Max, sorry, not Plus. HBO Max was announced. This is the reason Friends is leaving Netflix. Netflix is losing Friends.
They spent so much money on Friends.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. Like, if Netflix was paying like hundreds of millions of dollars for Friends, like, how much did fucking Warner Brothers pay? Because, like, you gotta think, like, I would assume, because Friends has been on Netflix for years and years and years.
Oh yeah,
built up a huge fan. It's always been popular on Netflix. So I just imagine that helped that series, with whatever. I know it sounds silly, but like DVD sales or merch sales, all that kind of shit.
Revitalized it, though.
It did, honestly. And it's like, you're gonna give that up to go to this new unknown streaming service, like.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. Is like, this is a big enough entity that it's gonna pull people to it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Epic Game Store.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're. Yeah. So I mean, they're gonna get a lot of the. I mean, you get all episodes of the Friends. You're getting the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pretty Little Liars. The CW shows are going to be on here, like their whole catalog.
Doesn't this not bode well for the DC shit then? Like,
yeah, it doesn't. I don't think DC's doing well. They can say what they want. The Swamp Thing cost them more money than they thought, but I don't think that's doing well, and that's why they canceled Swamp Thing. Like, I don't think it's doing that well. So, but and I mean,
they renewed Doom Patrol.
Yeah, they did. But they're working with a smaller budget. I think these shows will look worse next year. That's my prediction. Which,
if they get
it's going to have original content. There's no pricing yet for it. It's got some big names attached. There's let's see, Stephen King's Outsiders is going to be on here, like a show for it. Dune show. I think George R.R. Martin's doing something for this.
Because he's not writing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff attached here. It's just like, I don't know. So I don't have a pricing yet for this, but it will come out spring of 2020. And so that's when, at the end of this year, Friends will be leaving Netflix. So just so you all know. And that's why.
So no Friends, no Office, but.
Yeah.
Wait. Office
is leaving? Oh, this month. Isn't that this month?
No, I think it's in like a year or two. It's like 2021 or something.
That sucks.
No, it's sooner than that.
I don't know about that. I think I remember.
I thought it was soon.
The time was like pretty far away.
I don't know. All right, that's it for the news, guys. We're done with that, and I think that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Moviecast too. So you can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter at allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. More content coming your way. We've got the Gamecast. We've got our spoiler cast coming up. Soon we'll have a spoiler cast for Stranger Things Season 3. Just give us time. We'll get through it. And that'll be it. Thanks for listening.
Excelsior.